Hey guys, it's Victoria Scott and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my high carb day of eating on leg day. Okay, so this is going to be part of my series for April. Last video I showed you guys, I was just giving you an update on my overall game plan for the spring and possibly into next year, whether or not I'm going to be competing. In that video, I did mention that I'm going to be pursuing some physique changes. Whether I compete or not, I definitely want to make these improvements and just start to move that direction. Yesterday, I did my check-in with my coach and I was underwhelmed by my progress photos, mostly because I'm just a little bit deflated and flat from not training as hard for a long time now and not eating a whole lot of food. I definitely have had many higher calorie days here and there, but overall my food just hasn't been as consistent as I would like. So the net result for me is obviously I do maintain a really balanced, well-rounded physique year-round. My body fat is very healthy and for all intents and purposes, like nothing to cry about. But I do have a standard of how I would like my physique to look and level of conditioning I like to be in. And if you're someone watching this and you have aspirations to improve your physique, you might have people around you telling you, what are you doing? You look fine. You don't need to do this. Why are you going to the gym so much? You know, you'll have people around you who discourage you from pursuing these extra goals. And to that I say, you need to do what's best for you. And if you feel like you can do better, you absolutely should do better. So I feel like I've had a little slump and it's all good, but I'm ready to get back into the saddle and start to make some new improvements. And the cool thing is I've been at this for a long time. I started getting into bodybuilding and the style of training that I do now about 16 years ago. So, and there's been lots of peaks and valleys throughout that time. But with me, I feel like I'm still just accelerating into new levels and just getting better and better. I can authentically say that I love my physique more now than I did when I was 30. So I am turning 41 in a few weeks and I'm looking forward to making 41 the best yet. So that said, I am having my meal one, which is also my pre-workout meal right now. This is my high carb day, like I mentioned. My carbs are going to exceed 500 grams for the day and about 2,900 calories. So this is my first day running this meal plan. I'm probably going to be stuffed, frankly, but we'll see how it goes. I do have a very hard lower body session that I'm about to go do right now with my coach and Coach Kelly, who is a Six Pack Chick Fitness head coach. So we do train together on Saturdays and I will show you guys some clips of our workout, what we're doing, just so you guys can see how intense those workouts are and what that really looks like. And then for this meal is roughly 35 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and right around 3 to 5 grams of fats. So lower on the fats. I'm doing egg whites. I have sourdough toast. I have another slice to eat here. I have 100 grams each of banana and blueberries. And then I like to put butter on my toast, but again, we're keeping it low fat for this morning. So honey, I'm using that for to spread on top of my bread. So I'm doing honey as well. And then of course, salt your food, ladies. You've got to salt your food. If you're making stuff from home, sodium is so important when it comes to overall electrolyte balance, but also preventing muscle cramps. It's also really good for cognitive function. So many women avoid salt, I think from the myths that came out of the 90s, but you do not need to avoid salt if you are cooking from home and having balanced meals. You need sodium in your diet. So I always salt my food about 1/4 teaspoon and of each meal. And so I'm gonna finish this up, head to the gym, and I will see you guys there.
Push me away. 2, one more. Keep pushing, push.
Okay guys, so we're at Fit Club right now. I am intra workout, taking a quick breather. We just warmed up with seated leg curls, did a couple warm-up sets and then a couple working sets. We did seated hip abductions, 2 warm-up sets, 2 working sets there, and now we're headed over to the Smith machine to do some Smith hip thrusters. So take you guys through the rest of this workout and show you what we're up to. All right, so I'm gonna catch my breath. We just finished up our hip thrusters and 2 working sets of RDLs. What do we do? 155 was our max. 155 today, which is pretty good. Not my best work.
Just getting back into it.
It feels a lot heavier because we stacked on 10s, and as you stack on the smaller weights, it's further away from you, so it feels heavier because the weight's just further from your body. So I would have preferred to do 45s, bigger weights, 45s, yeah. But now we're gonna finish up with cable kickbacks. We'll do like 2 sets, heavy. What's the heaviest you go on this? And are you doing like the 50?
Either like 35 or 42.
Yeah. I got up to 57 a few weeks ago, but usually that's if I start with cable kickbacks. This is the end of the workout, so we'll see what we can do. So we're gonna do this and then we're gonna head home. I've got some client check-ins to do and gotta eat, of course. Post-workout meal and client check-ins. So I'll see you guys after this. Okay, so I mentioned in my last video that I still have some physique goals that I want to work on, whether I compete or not. So after I did my check-in yesterday and I felt super flat and I looked at my measurements, I did lose a little bit of size on my delts and a little bit on my glutes than I would like. So my focus with this next training block is really to bring my glutes back up. I'm sitting around 39 inches around the widest part. I want to get to 40 inches. Just to keep that symmetry. And then I like full rounded delts, so I'm probably going to incorporate in a second delt day temporarily. So I'll have 2 full delt days and then a back delt arms day. So it seems like a lot, but for my level, how long I've been training, I like to spread the volume out across multiple days so I hit the same muscle group multiple days. So I plan it out that way. And then I'll hit quads, glutes, hamstring, glutes, and that's the game plan. So hopefully by the end of this season, I will have another inch added back to my glutes. All right, so that concludes our glute workout for today. If you guys don't know, this is Coach Kelly Klein. She is our head coach at Six Pack Chick Fitness. She is an incredible asset to our team and has amazing client results. So if you guys don't follow her, please give her a follow on Instagram. So what do you think is the biggest mistake that women make when they're trying to build their glutes? Especially women who might be older, right? Like 40s, 50s are average clients. Maybe they're getting in the gym for the first time and they want to lift the backside.
Yeah. Well, I think first and foremost, you have to really perfect form. Because I could say, you're not lifting heavy enough, but if your form is not good and you're just lifting heavy weight with bad form, you're not really going to get the results you want to see. So I think first and foremost is learning technique and form, and just really, really getting really good at that. And then after that, we can start playing with loads and tempos and things like that. But I think one thing that I find a lot of women do is when it starts to get like hard and like burn, they are like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. When really like you can push so much harder and get more out of that. So I think form, intensity, and just learning to push yourself harder, because muscle is hard to grow, and it's definitely hard to grow as women as we get older. So if you're not really pushing yourself past what feels comfortable, the muscle is not going to grow.
Yeah. It's hard to grow if you're not performing the exercise correctly.
Yes.
So that's one thing that we do in Six Pack Chick Fitness. We do have our clients send us form videos. So even just propping your phone up, taking a little video of yourself doing the exercise. If you don't do it right now and you don't have a coach, I highly recommend doing it. Look at how you're performing it, match it up to somebody who does squat or deadlift really well and see where you match up. But our clients do send us form videos so we can specifically critique their form.
I also find that some women have a hard time like connecting to their glutes. They don't feel it.
Yep.
So even if it looks like they're doing it right, they're like, oh, I don't feel my glutes. And so sometimes it's about kind of doing some like activation exercises, some bandit stuff to just really get them to feel that muscle. And so that's like a technique all in of itself, I think, as well. So all of those things really help with growing really any muscle, but definitely glutes, because I find a lot of women have a hard time really like feeling their glutes.
Certain exercises. So we've talked about this on the channel before. Some exercises will work really well for Kelly because of maybe whatever sport she played in the past, injury she may or may not have, the length of her femurs, all that stuff. And that might work for her, but might not work for you. Same thing for me. So one of the things that I do talk to our clients about is, they will start to identify exercises that they feel work better for them. So then we lean on those a little bit more. So there's no one exercise that you have to do.
Yeah, I think it's so individual. I just think with fitness in general, there is like, the basics that work, but it's just so individualized, and a certain stance might work really well for you, but doesn't feel good for someone else. And so just really finding that for yourself, I think is really key to all of this.
What's your favorite glute exercise?
Oh man.
Gun to your head.
I really do. I do enjoy like hip thrusting, because I personally just really feel it in my glutes. I do really love, I love hate with Bulgarians because they're hard, but I feel them so well, and I know they're working. And I mean, there's other things that I know are working well for me, but are difficult, and I wouldn't say I love them, but yeah, I love that. And I really just enjoy the mind muscle connection. So I like a good kickback. I like that. I like all that kind of stuff, but
how often do you train glutes?
I train legs 3 times a week. With probably 2 dedicated glute days, because as someone who is tall, and I've just naturally have really, kind of up and down, I have to work really hard to build glutes, and that's just something that I have to hit with a little more volume. So, but that's me.
What would you recommend for a woman who is just getting started? Like, say a woman comes to you, our clients, 50 years old, you just want to get into the gym for the first time, and that is like their pain point. They're like, oh my gosh, I just really want to build glutes. Like, how often would you recommend that they train? Or
so I think
and just a general suggestion too, right?
Yeah, because there's always like asterisks, like if with this person, like there's a ton, but I would say if someone's brand new, I would probably say like 3 full body days where you're hitting glutes 3 times, but not, do you know what I mean? So it's not like a full, bro split, if you will, but you're getting into the gym at least 3 times a week. You're getting in there, hitting it with a little more frequency. And then once you feel really good with that, then you can add on. But I think a mistake is for people that are brand new, would be like, okay, I'm brand new to the gym. I'm going to do 5 days a week, all
back
this
day,
stuff.
chest day,
Yeah, and
quad
then
day,
it
right?
might
It's
be
like
fun,
overkill.
and then you're gonna burn out. So
Yeah.
get really good at that, feel good, and then you can always add on.
Yeah. I also find that's such a good point too. I find that people who are getting started, recovery is a huge factor.
Yes.
And also if you don't have an athletic background, oh my gosh, like you might need more recovery. So you don't need to hit a lot of volume in those full body sessions either.
Yeah.
You work your way up to it. So I think one thing that we do really well is we really match our clients' experience level and their current level to, you know, their program. It's not just cookie cutter, just do this.
And feedback, like weekly check-in feedback. Like if someone's like, hey, I'm exhausted. Okay, let's look at the training split. Maybe, 4 days is too much. Maybe we'll go to 3, or, we can always kind of adjust from there. But I think taking that into consideration is really huge too. Because if you're not resting, you're not letting the muscle recover either. So you got to take all this into consideration. Take your rest days, please.
All right, speaking of rest, I'm gonna go home and rest. I'm gonna go eat. You're gonna go eat.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys at home.
Bye.
All right, so we're back here. This is my post-workout meal. I wanted to show you guys this real quick, mostly just as a potential post-workout option that I love, and maybe you'll like it too. It's super simple. My post-workout meal is, it's either cereal or rice. I'm doing white rice. This is 200 grams of white rice. I've opted to have a little bit more of this juice instead. Also, I ran out of rice, so I matched up the macros. But I'm doing 200 grams of white rice. I just warmed this up in the microwave because it was already cooked. Sea salt, I do a 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt. Just like a little 3 grams, a little bit of coconut oil. If I was to have this as a breakfast, which I used to do this, that's another story, I would have a little bit more coconut oil to bump up my fats, but I'm keeping this super low fat. So the rice, and then in here I have a vanilla ice cream protein shake. It's already mixed up. I'm literally just gonna pour it right over. This meal reminds me of rice pudding. If you've ever had that dessert, it is absolutely delicious. It seems super weird to pour, maybe you think so, pour protein powder over rice, but it's warm, it's salty, it's sweet. Obviously it's super simple and it just tastes like desserts. So I just sort of put that together and I'm gonna eat this up. It is so good, you guys. If you try this, come back here and let me know that you tried it. Tag me on social media. And then I'm supposed to have fruit with this meal, but I actually am out of the fruit that I was going to have. So I happened to pick this up yesterday, and it is a blend of apple and ginger and then some greens. But it is 2 servings, 20 grams per serving. So I'm actually gonna drink this entire thing. My total carbohydrates post-workout here is, these macros actually almost match identically my pre-workout. So it's about 35 grams of protein, 100 grams of carbs, and about 5 grams of fat, roughly 600 calories. So I had those macros pre-workouts, post-workout, and then intra-workout, I also had 50 grams of carbs that I was drinking. So far I've had 250 grams of carbs for the day. And again, at the end of today, I'll be at 500. So we'll see. My hunger after that workout is definitely high. So I'll probably have this, and about 2 hours from now, I'll probably have another actual fork and knife protein meal, maybe some chicken or something, and continue on my day. So this is my post-workouts. I hope you guys enjoyed the workout earlier. And again, if you have any questions on the workout, please comment below, let me know. And hopefully you enjoyed meeting Coach Kelly. She is a phenomenal coach and also a phenomenal athlete. It's been really cool to be able to train with someone. Her and I started training together probably about 4 months ago. So it's been nice to have a partner from time to time. And so I've really enjoyed that. All right, so I am back here with my, what meal am I on? This is the meal after my post-workout meal. Actually, let me pull this up so I can share with you guys. I've got some of this pre-mixed coleslaw mix. I like this like cabbage. I love like the crunchiness of cabbage. And it's got a little bit of carrots and stuff in it. So I like to just heat those up real quick, and I use that as like just some veg. I just like the crunch of it. I do like the taste. I don't like overdo it or anything. So I'm going to be doing 275 grams of rice, a lot of rice, 200 grams of fruit, and then 3.5 ounces of chicken, which isn't a ton of chicken. But this is a high carb day, and carbs are protein sparing. So meaning in the presence of sufficient carbs, you won't lose a lot in terms of protein. So you're getting plenty of it already. And even though you're training and everything, you're going to be getting enough nutrients to help sustain your muscle tissue. So you actually could dip down on protein just a tad bit when carbs are higher. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this out. Now this is chicken breast. We like to go to a local butcher and we get really high quality chicken breast from the butcher shop, and we like to grill it outside. We'll see how that goes as we get into summertime and it's 100 degrees outside, but this is our preferred way to do it. Another way to get really good chicken breast would be obviously air fryer is one great way, or crock pot where you can add some moisture to it so you don't end up with like dry chicken. I cannot stand dry chicken. So got some great, I don't know if you can see this, I've got some great chicken here and I've got some fresh cooked jasmine rice. I love rice. I know some people think it's boring or something. I love rice and I could eat it all the time. And it's such a great fast digesting carbohydrate. So I'm just gonna scoop my carb. Oh my gosh, this is so much. We are fueling up. I actually am hungry too, which is wild. But when your metabolism is going, it's going. All right, so I'm also making a variation of my OMG sauce. If you guys had followed my videos from when I was competing last, which was, oh my gosh, coming up on 2 years now, the sauce that I started making at home was a light sour cream and a hot sauce mixed together. Those are the two main ingredients. But I'm out of the sour cream. So I had these little skinny Laughing Cow light cheeses and I thought, let me give this a try. And it's kind of like a little dip. So it's really good. So I'm actually gonna use this. These are 25 calories each, so I'm gonna use 2 of these. The hot sauce is like 5 calories. So that's gonna be my, my dip. Not that I'm trying to be under on calories today, but I am trying to be mindful to keep my fats on the lower side. So this is ready. I'm gonna go ahead and add this in. Right on top there. Just a little crunch. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So this is what my meal looks like. I got a question in my Instagram today about what to eat to get ripped. And it's a really interesting question because I think a lot of people look at it as it's like a one-step process. The reality is it is a multi-step process, and depending on your current body composition, what you need next could be completely different for you. And this is one of the things that we walk our clients through in my coaching program. Depending on the woman's starting place, and mind you, these are all women who are midlife. So 40s, 50s, 60s. The majority of our clients are in fact in their 50s. And they all have different backgrounds. So like the cookie cutter way of doing things, of just slapping on 1,200 calories or giving people HIIT cardio, whatever it is just, it does most women a disservice because it's often not what they need at this stage. So we do the intake and we look at their physique and their health history and any other concerns they have and really think about where should they enter this process. So you've got fat loss, you've got building, you've got reverse dieting, you've got maintenance, and every woman, depending on their starting point, could need something different. And usually at some point you'll go through all of those phases. Now, what's the answer to what do you need to eat to get ripped? Can be a variable. So for example, I did my progress photos a couple days ago and I looked flat. And one of the reasons I looked flat is because my food throughout the week was lower. Just lower in general. For me to look ripped, when I eat high carb like this for a day, my muscles fill out with glycogen and I look totally different than I did 24 hours ago. And that part of that has to do with how lean I already am. What I find is a lot of women are chronically under eating and so their muscles just look flat. So that's one thing. But most people will need to go through either a building phase, getting calories up, putting on some lean muscle tissue, and then going into a fat loss phase of some sort, or vice versa, and there's some reverse dieting in there. But it's going to be different from person to person on what they need. I do find, though, that a lot of women who want to get ripped undereat carbs indefinitely. And also, I mentioned before, salt. Salt will make you look vascular, especially if you are lean. So when you introduce carbohydrates and sodium, boom, that's how you can start to look like ripped. And the skin just lies really tight against the muscle too. It's pretty cool. The leaner you get, a single meal can make you look completely different. So depending on the person is really the answer. I think that globally though, most women are under-eating carbohydrates, under-eating calories, probably avoiding things like sodium, oftentimes too low on water, and getting like in sync with a full plan with a direction and a timeline usually is what's required to then kind of get the light bulbs to come off, and so you have understanding of how this all works. But I digress, that's not the point of this video. But I'm going to eat this meal, I'll tell you real quick, because I've got some work I still gotta get to. I've got 2 more meals after this. My carbohydrates for each meal are also gonna run about 100 grams of carbs. This is a very, very high carb day. And that will be it. That will be my day. So I'm gonna have some potato later. I'm actually gonna have a lot of potato later. It's gonna be fun. But comment below, let me know, do you guys like to grill your proteins? Do you do the air fryer? What do you do at home? My favorite is for sure the grill. I love like this crispy, you guys can see this, like absolutely, love it. Could eat a whole chicken breast right now. All right, so this is effectively my meal 3, I just confirmed. And I've got 2 more after this. And I think next time I will show you guys what my regular training day of eating looks like. So when I'm not doing a high day. Okay, so it is Sunday morning. It is about 10:30. We are gearing up to go take our Frenchie out to the lake and have an active rest day. So this is the morning after my high carb day glute workout. I did get up this morning and take another set of progress photos. So Friday morning I got up, I took progress photos. The previous 3 days prior, I hadn't been feeling so good. I didn't train. My food intake was super low. It's kind of been up and down for weeks actually, but it was definitely low leading up to that check-in photos. So my weight actually dropped. I'm gonna throw a side-by-side up here of my photos on Friday morning and then the ones I took today after a moderate carb day Friday and then a high carb day on Saturday. So today is Sunday. I took the photos. Now there's 72 hours in between. Friday morning's photos and Sunday morning's photos. So you can see what it looks like. And I want to show you this to demonstrate how important it is to not shy away from having more calories and more carbohydrates intentionally, because this is a perfect example. You can see on Friday morning's photos, I'm very flat. I'm a little bit just deflated. You can't really see much lines or definition. And then compared to this morning's photos, my muscle bellies are filled out more, specifically a lot more in my upper body, my delts, my lats a little bit more. And then I actually, you gotta look really close. You have to have a good eye for this, but I can see the difference in my legs as well, and a little bit more sharpness in my glute ham tie-ins. I think that after another week of just getting back into my training, hitting it really hard with good workouts, good rest, and just being on point with my nutrition, I think next week's photos are gonna be even better. I just need to let my body sort of recalibrate. But I wanted to show you guys this just to demonstrate that being low carb, being super low calorie, even avoiding weights, if you're a woman who avoids weights, doesn't necessarily give you the best look. And if you want to have definition, you want to have that, like those kind of cut lines and stuff like that, training and eating enough food intentionally. There's a rhyme and reason to everything, but having an intentional method to the process is what's going to ultimately get you a better look and a healthy look that is very sustainable and you can do year round and not feel like you can't eat the carbs. So we're going to wrap up here. I'm going to take our Frenchie to the lake and have a nice active recovery day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you want to see next.